Continuing from the previous episode 2725. Find the latest chapter in Fighting the Sky God, Yan Emperor novel. Any advice? Xiao Yan restrained the anger of the three women beside him, and then turned to ask the lord of the ancient heavenly palace, who was surrounded by the crowd. The desolate ancient heavenly palace belongs to the forces of the Human World Center. On this trip, they were ordered to gather many powerful people from the great thousand worlds to gather in the Sea of Samsara to hunt and kill the alien races. Xiao Yan naturally did not want to follow them all the way. The most important reason for this is that the two elders of Xiao clan, Xiao Yan and Xiao Lingshan, are sleeping in Samsara Sea. Once they defeat the outside world, the two elders of the Xiao clan will probably fall into the hands of the center of the human world. That kind of situation is obviously not what Xiao Yan wants to see, so they must be the first to wake them up before they fight the outside world. Only by saving the two of them can we lay the groundwork for the next rescue of the Xiao family. Humph! The catastrophe has come, and the superpowers in the great thousand worlds, such as me, are now in danger and are supposed to resist the outside world together. How can we go alone for our own selfishness? If the four of you sabotage our plan, what are you responsible for? Could it be, are you provoking the supreme authority at the center of the human world? The lord of the ancient heavenly palace seemed to have decided on Xiao Yan, and he received an order from the center of the human world to arrest the elders of Xiao Yan, so he definitely would not let Xiao Yan and others act alone. The lord of the ancient heavenly palace, you are just a bunch of nonsense. Throughout the ages, no one has ever formulated the rules of the reincarnation sea. We came here just to search for reincarnation. For other matters, Major tied us in a boat. As for the evil races outside the territory, if you don't worry about it, we have our own countermeasures. Go! In the face of the needle-like light of the ancient heavenly palace, Xiao Yan snorted coldly, leaving no room for the latter to maneuver. Without further ado, Xiao Yan and the four suddenly jumped into the sea of reincarnation with monstrous evil forces. He wants to use the Human World Center to suppress himself? It's a pity that he forgot that many powerful people in the center of the human world are facing fierce attacks from outside the realm, and they are already too busy to take care of themselves, and there is no time to arrest Xiao Yan. The Lord of the Endless Flame Alliance is quite domineering and amazing. It was not until the four of Xiao Yan disappeared here that there was a hint of admiration in the old eyes of the undead Holy Master. The three saint races took the lead in attacking the Sea of Reincarnation. With just his eightfold reincarnation level strength, he might just enter it and die. Although the other figures on the reef admired Xiao Yan a little, they did not act rashly after weighing it. They just watched the disappearance of Xiao Yan, and their hearts could not help but slowly pour out a touch of regret. The power of four people, how to compete with the digital saints. This guy is too arrogant, or too young. Okay, let's stop talking, we have to start. This trip to the Sea of Reincarnation is the most important thing. The reincarnation powerhouse sleeping here and the foreign evil race attacking here must be awakened and obliterated. Headed by the undying Holy Master, and several 7th level reincarnation level powerhouses took the lead, the group rushed towards the reincarnation sea very slowly. This little beast, you will feel better sooner or later. The Lord of the ancient heavenly palace could only temporarily suppress the displeasure and anger in his heart. The army attacking outside the realm was countless times more terrifying than Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan and the four separated from the main force and rushed into the polluted Samsara Sea, and they broke into a barren desert not long after. There is no grass here, yellow sand flying everywhere, and the whole void is filled with a very cold and broken feeling, as if it was devoured by locusts. It seems that some very evil force has destroyed this place? Xiao Yan glanced at this world, but his heart was at a loss. It is said that in the Sea of Reincarnation, strong men with the kingdom of angels have guarded it for generations. Now that the Sea of Reincarnation is polluted, the guardians in it are probably also brutally murdered. And from my perception, this world seems to have a weak reincarnation breath and evil auras against each other. The four of them were entrenched high in the desert world. Looking at this messy desert, Zuner couldn't help but said. The Sea of Reincarnation is just a general term for a huge area, in which there are countless tombs of reincarnation. Those who are trapped in reincarnation are sleeping in it. Nowadays, if there is no specific spatial coordinates of the evil power pollution of the evil race outside the territory, It is very difficult to find the location of the Tomb of Samsara only by means of the Seal of Reincarnation. The owner of this reincarnation tomb may have died. Mu Yingying's pretty face was tense, and the power of many holy flames in her body made her very sensitive to evil forces. Now the polluted reincarnation sea is in danger, and we must hurry up. The Book of Reincarnation records the specific coordinates of reincarnation. Let's go. As soon as the voice fell, the four disappeared here again, and with the guidance in the Book of Reincarnation, they suddenly ignored the depths of the Sea of Reincarnation. Lord Shuizhi, I still haven't found Xiao Yan and Xiao Lingshan's reincarnation tomb. Their sleeping place seems to be very hidden. What do you think? At this moment, there are some viscous evil forces in the depths of the Samsara Sea, and suddenly there are some dark shadows standing here. The other two adults have already headed to the end of the Sea of Samsara, brewing endless killings, trying to wipe out the many powerhouses living in the Sea of Samsara and the powerhouses of the Great Thousand Worlds who came to support them. We don't have much time left. Yes! The void changed. At this time, Xiao Yan and the four broke through many obstacles and quietly came to a canyon in the depths of the Samsara Sea. The void was distorted, and the surrounding evil-looking black shadows kept stepping out of it, standing in the sky, staring at Xiao Yan and the four with hideous faces. After having to obliterate the two guardians of the Sea of Reincarnation, the army of foreign evil tribes suddenly stepped into the Sea of Reincarnation, destroying the reincarnation in a steady stream. Except for some powerful and hidden and mysterious tombs of reincarnation, nearly half of the tombs of reincarnation it has been completely destroyed by the outside world, and those who are reincarnated have also completely fallen here. In the depths of the Samsara Sea, it is also the place where the army of the evil tribes outside the territory is most densely populated. Xiao Yan stood in the air, his eyes glanced at the dark canyon that looked like an abyss below, and some of the blood in his body boiled slightly. Looking at the canyon world below, Xiao Yan was stunned for a moment when combined with the abnormality in his body, and then a look of joy appeared on his face. Below, I am afraid it is the sleeping place of the great elder Xiao Yan. The strength of the third elder of the Xiao clan has reached the half-step 9th level reincarnation level. Xiao Yan does not believe that the strength of the first elder is only 8 level. After all, the latter's imprint of reincarnation in the endless fire realm, only a trace of leftover power will make Mo Tuo's strength break through to the 8th reincarnation stage. In the depths of the canyon, the endless darkness seemed to contain extremely terrifying forces, and judging from Xiao Yan's perception and the fluctuations generated by reincarnation, they were two completely different forces. Are you sure? Xuan Erdai frowned, turned her head and asked Su Shuiying beside her. With the Great Elder Reincarnation Seal, she can naturally sense a lot of specific information. The reincarnation of the Great Elder should exist deep in the canyon below, but this area is very dangerous. After a while, the reincarnation mark on Su Shuiying's eyebrows twitched slightly, and suddenly an ancient energy ripple flashed, and her whole person looked brilliant. Lord Shuizhi, Xiao Yan took the three women and rushed into a canyon in the depths of the Samsara Sea. That canyon easily wiped out the terrifying zone of our 7th level reincarnation level powerhouse. If you step through the iron shoes, there is nowhere to find it, and it takes no effort to get it. Follow them. Xiao Yan, I would like to thank you for leading the way for me on this trip. Su, for the convenience of reading next time, you can click the favorite below to record the reading record of this time, chapter 2741, and you can see it when you open the bookshelf next time. If you like Fighting the Heavens God, Yandy, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 2726. Find the latest chapter in Fighting the Sky God, Yan Emperor novel. The evil shadow entrenched around the canyon was easily eliminated. Xiao Yan moved directly with the three daughters. The four of them all jumped directly into the abyss of the canyon. For a time, the power in everyone's body seemed to fail in an instant. The darkness drowned the four of them little by little. Although they felt dazed and uneasy at this time, under the guidance of the Book of Samsara, the four of them fell into the abyss without turning back. Is it really here? Why does the holy flame in the body convey a disturbing fluctuation? Could it be a conspiracy of an alien race? In the process of descending, the corners of Mu Yingying's lips were dry, and even the many holy flames in her body instinctively released a very complicated wave. There are uneasiness, joy, sadness and other strange emotions that fluctuate, which makes the latter's body tense. Make yourself uneasy. Thump. I don't know how long it has descended, but only a slight sound was heard. The four of them were like a strange and uninhabited realm. After passing through a peculiar thick and dark barrier, they successfully left the dark abyss and poured into the bottom. The new world after the end of the canyon. In the process of penetrating the mysterious barrier, Xiao Yan and Su Shuiying were the most dangerous. Their bodies, blood, and even their souls were all wandering around by the power contained in their barrier, and their whole minds trembled. It seems that there is some kind of transcendent power in the enchantment checking whether they are qualified to step under the enchantment. That kind of investigation could not be avoided. If it weren't for the power of Xiao Yan's bloodline and the reincarnation seal on Su Shuiying's eyebrows, I am afraid that a few people would have been pushed out by this barrier, or killed by it. After breaking through this mysterious barrier and entering the world below, the pupils of the four were moved, and they couldn't help but be shocked. Below the abyss of the canyon, there is no trace of evil, because this is a whole new world. Just arriving in this new world, everyone stepped into the air and looked from a distance. In the hazy and illusory world below, Xiao Yan vaguely felt a great coercive force permeating the void. Although the coercion did not have a strong destructive power, it made Xiao Yan feel a tremendous pressure that had never been seen before. According to Xiao Yan's guess, with such a huge pressure, even a peak powerhouse of the eighth-fold reincarnation cannot possess such a great coercive force. The line of sight changed, and the world below became clear. This is a huge mountain range that is slightly barren. There is no grass in the mountain world, and the surroundings are in a mess. There are many shadows of broken soldiers. There are signs that there have been several violent confrontations here. These traces are all battlegrounds. Keep. After a brief inspection, the four of them looked extremely solemn. After all, the foreign evil race had already taken the lead in capturing the Samsara Sea. Whether this place has already been affected by it is already unknown. Strange. Why did Zhu Zanhuo Master and Xiao Lingshan's reincarnation seal become hot together? Could it be that their place of reincarnation is also here? Looking at Xiao Yan with a serious face beside him, and looking at the coordinates of the Book of Reincarnation in the latter's hand, this is clearly the reincarnation cemetery of the first elder Xiao Yan. Why does the reincarnation of the other two strong men also emit such strange fluctuations? Just stepping here, the four of them stood quietly in the corner of the mountain range, and did not act rashly, but Su Shuiying, who was thoughtful, guessed something through the reincarnation light wave between the eyebrows of the other two women. This area is mysterious, and I am afraid that there is a murderous intention inside. After a while, Xiao Yan was still, but his eyes began to move. After a while, he keenly captured a very hidden heaven and earth formation, which surrounded and enveloped the whole world. Even this formation was slightly dilapidated at this time, but Xiao Yan was able to know from some faint traces that this formation was undoubtedly a very powerful ancient formation. Anyone who can mobilize or use such a formation is the true overlord of this world. However, according to Feng Wan'er and other information about the Xiao clan's great elder, the latter did not seem to be proficient in fighting formations, which really made Xiao Yan feel a little concerned. Is this formation protecting this world? But who did it? Although there was some doubts in his heart, Xiao Yan did not focus all his attention on it. Xiao Yan's eyes swept away again, and the huge perception suddenly penetrated through the layers of mountains, avoiding the restraint and isolation of many powers, and probed deeper. At the top and core of this mountain range, there is always some fairy mist that covers it, as if to hide some unknown secrets, but in front of Xiao Yan's soul power, it is all in vain. Looking up and observing, at the top core of this mountain range, among those mysterious clouds, there is a majestic and magnificent building standing quietly, and there is a sense of breathless coercion on it. Emanated from it. Outside the main hall, there are actually two endless abyss, slowly gushing out, and around the main hall at the top of the mountain range, there is a river like the sea river, which is isolated from the sky. The water in the river is even more bottomless, the color is like a fiery red flame, and it is generally scorching hot. The core of the entire mountain range is extremely mysterious. One hall, one river, and two caves occupy the core of this mountain range. At such a strange time, the reincarnation mark on Shuizhi's eyebrows, which was far away from the core of the cloud and mist in the mountains, fell off instantly, and flew away uncontrollably towards the gate of the hall in the cloud and mist. Xiao Yan was just about to make a move, but he saw the ray of light surging from the seal of reincarnation, and instantly transformed into a palm-sized fire talisman, heading towards the groove above the temple gate. In the temple gate, there is a groove made of stacked red stones, and the pattern in it seems to be exactly the same as the reincarnation fire talisman that fell off Su Shuiying's eyebrows. The seal of reincarnation, is it the key to open the hall? Seeing this scene, Xiao Yan felt a sigh in his heart, and the power of his bloodline surged in an instant, which made the latter burst into ecstasy, a kind of blood boiling. According to the instructions from the Book of Samsara and Su Shuiying's reincarnation seal, in this hall, the place where the great elder Xiao Yan sleeps, the Yanling heavenly tomb. It is said that even the experts of the ninefold reincarnation cannot spy on the mysterious Yanling heavenly tomb, which contains endless mysteries. Is it really here? Seeing such a mysterious and strange scene, Zuner and Mu Yingying looked at each other. The three samsaras naturally needed to take the great elder Xiao Yan as the top priority. After all, the latter is the most powerful in the entire samsara sea. Strong man. Once he is rescued, whether it is Xiao Lingshan or the reincarnation of the Nine Profound Fire Lord, it will naturally not be a problem. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click the favorite below to record this time. Chapter 2742 Yanling Heavenly Tomb. The reading record, you can see it when you open the bookshelf next time. If you like Fighting the Heavens God, Yandy, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 2727. Find the latest chapter in Fighting the Sky God, Yan Emperor novel. Boom. The gate of the temple entrenched in the core of the mountain, with the surging of the reincarnation mark on Su Shuiying's eyebrows, slowly opened like the place of the god's residence that had been sealed with countless reincarnations. The shocking and magnificent sound, accompanied by an unusually harsh sound of gears, slowly resounded throughout the world. The four people flickered and came to the top of this mountain range in an instant. With the help of some perception power, they slowly probed the so-called Yanling heavenly tomb. In the mausoleum of the main hall surrounded by clouds and mist, there is no end at all. The entire mausoleum is like an endless abyss world, more like in a chaotic void. The space around it is shattered, even the one above the mausoleum hall. The two black holes also have endless whistling power. The river outside the core mausoleum hall is even more mysterious, but now it has the reincarnation light path paved by the reincarnation seal, filling it up, temporarily unable to form an obstacle. Inside the mausoleum hall, there is a lot of wreckage, and there are many extremely deformed bones, shards of broken soldiers, etc., and the four voids in the entire mausoleum are all tragic traces left after fierce battles. Even with Xiao Yan's huge perception, it is not difficult to find that on these bones and corpses, there are actually symbols of many extraterritorial royal families and other identities. The entire hall was filled with dead silence, but in such a quiet state, Xiao Yan and the four instinctively sensed a terrifying crisis. The most terrifying thing was that in the depths of the mausoleum hall, a faint force of power swept through it, making Xiao Yan feel like a great enemy, and the pressure was greatly increased. It seemed that the ethereal aura at the end was this. The only master of the film world. Even now Xiao Yan faced such oppression, his heart palpitated. That kind of power is really too powerful. Even if he uses Yanshan Cauldron and many other powers, Xiao Yan's chance of winning against the latter is probably less than 10%. You stay here on guard, I'll go in and take a look. If the great elder sleeps here, I will definitely wake him up. After a stalemate for a while, Xiao Yan spoke to the three women beside him with a solemn expression. Although they have reincarnation, their current strength has not yet succeeded in reincarnation, and naturally they do not have the strength to deal with the current situation. Although Xiao Yan could not bear to let them do it himself, after all, this situation is too dangerous, and Xiao Yan cannot protect himself, inevitably increasing the difficulty. No, this matter is very important. I have to follow Brother Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's voice just fell, but Zuner on the side made a direct voice. Her words were decisive, and Xiao Yan's kindness was cut off abruptly. No matter what happened in the past, now that reincarnation is full of crises, she would not let Xiao Yan take risks alone. Although the strength of the three of us is not as good as you, but with the cooperation, the strength should not be underestimated. And this trip is so hard, it is naturally impossible to return home. Mu Yingying's delicate body stood up, and she naturally agreed with Zunar's idea. As one of the mistresses of the Endless Fire territory, how could she not be able to help Xiao Yan? In that case, let's go, don't waste time. Su Shuiying turned slightly and looked at the two women with envy. There are many dangers in the mausoleum hall. After entering it, everything must be arranged by me. Okay. As soon as the voice fell, the four of them trembled slightly and rushed towards it cautiously. When they had to cross the mysterious river, if it wasn't for the help of the power of samsara, I am afraid that the four of them would face a very terrifying crisis. Sir, do you see? And just as the four of them poured into the mausoleum hall, a mighty army of black shadows appeared in this world, but their black robes were all dripping with blood, apparently just to break through the strange magic knot. The world has spent a lot of energy. Don't worry, wait for them to wake people up, and then we will take advantage of the fishermen. Is this 8-fold reincarnation level peak strength? Can these guys run away? Facing such an appearance, the Shuizhi Holy Throne smiled slightly, and the gloomy voice resounded throughout the world. One of the three holy clans, the Shuizhi Holy Seat, the peak of the 8th level reincarnation, such strength should not be underestimated. The Holy Sea is wise. Hearing the response of the Shuizhi Holy Seat, all the evil shadows around them took action one after another, arranging endless evil traps in this world. When Xiao Yan and the others stepped into the great hall of Yanling Heavenly Tomb, they felt an inexplicable coercion shrouding their bodies, as if they had fallen into a trap set up by others, unable to escape, unable to retreat, only move forward cautiously. Among the four, Xiao Yan and Su Shuiying felt the most obvious. Many powers in Xiao Yan's body have slowed down, and even his soul is slightly stunned. On the other hand, Su Shuiying's pretty face is tense, and the reincarnation mark at the center of her eyebrows actually has a sense of tearing, which makes the latter prepare. Suffer. Stepping on the ground of the Yanling Heavenly Tomb, Xiao Yan ignored the changes around him and slowly raised his head to scan the world, trying to find the reincarnation of the Great Elder. Looking up, the Yanling Heavenly Tomb was so huge and spectacular that the four of them had a feeling of insignificance like an ant. No matter how many tragic traces of fierce battles have occurred in the mausoleum, there is no trace of evil here, and even a touch of ancient fluctuations slowly permeates this world, as if it is protecting something. In the entire mausoleum, countless mountain peaks stand quietly, and there are countless complex patterns on the mountain peaks, as if they are sheltering a certain life. The bottomless dark cracks, in the cracks, the gloomy wind bursts, people can't help but sigh. What a brutal fight. After a moment of hesitation, Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes stretched slightly, and her voice turned out to contain a touch of shock. What a huge battle is needed to destroy this place as it is today. At least, the ordinary 8-fold reincarnation level may not be able to do it. The strength attributes of these mountain peaks are different, but they seem to be guarding something, and although the periphery of countless mountain peaks is not broken, the mountain peaks are miserable. Zunar also noticed something, and immediately spoke slowly. You, look. After a while, Su Shuiying's icy pretty face was moved for a while, her fingers trembled as she raised her fingers, pointing to the endless high altitude of the many peaks. She lost her voice. In the sky supported by countless mountain peaks, 3 white tombs of light looming like a mirage emerge. 3 tombs of reincarnation? Looking at the white tomb of reincarnation that was almost perfectly integrated into the void, everyone discovered it after Su Shuiying used the reincarnation seal to perceive it. Countless peaks in this world surround the high sky behind, and there seem to be 3 groups of white reincarnation tombs quietly entrenched. The tomb of light with the largest volume is the one of the first elder. The other 2 are Xiao Lingshan and the 9 profound Fire Lord. At this moment, the 3 women simultaneously moved the reincarnation mark between their eyebrows, and a moment later, a rare joy appeared in their hearts. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click the favorite below to record this time. Chapter 2743 3 Tomb Symbiosis. The reading record, you can see it next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Fighting the Heavens God, Yandy, please recommend this book to your friends. QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 2728. Find the latest chapter in Fighting the Sky God, Yan Emperor novel. The method of placing this kind of cemetery has long been lost. The three links are intertwined and coexist together. It is somewhat similar to the self-protection array of your Shao family in ancient times. Looking at the three tombs of light, although the identity of the reincarnation powerhouse sleeping in it has been determined, Su Shuizhi shook her head slightly. Obviously, this kind of thing also has a lot of background, which made her a little jealous. What magic circle? Su Shuizhi used to be in the line of the guardians of the Shao family, and now she has won many inheritances in the demon world. It is not difficult to know these things, but Xiao Yan and a few people around her don't know much about it. After all, this magic formation is too obscure and difficult to understand. Tomb Symbiosis method. This is a very strange formation. Once it is cast, the life of the caster and the binder will be completely bound together within a certain period of time. All glory to all. Combined with the existence of the two black holes just outside the cemetery hall, I am afraid this is Elder Xiao Yan's means to protect those two adults. Su Shuizhi was restless, and said word by word what she had guessed. What is the mystery in this magic circle? Zuner and Mu Yingying glanced at each other, knowing little about this magic circle that existed in ancient times. Although the magic circle does not have too many terrifying powers, it is an excellent shelter for the three tombs of light from poisonous hands. There have been countless fierce battles here. I am afraid that if the Great Elder hadn't cast the magic circle, the reincarnation of the other two would have been broken. Su Shuizhi spoke up again, dragging out all the thoughts that lingered in her mind. Is the magic circle dangerous? Xiao Yan's huge soul power had no effect for a while, so he could only turn around and ask Su Shuizhi. The three of us have the reincarnation seal, and we have the existence of sacred fire. For us, there is no danger. Su Shuizhi said firmly, but the latter did not tell the danger in reincarnation. Since there is no danger in it, start preparing. The time required for the reincarnation is still unknown. After you enter the reincarnation cemetery, I will protect you here day and night. Xiao Yan opened his mouth, and his voice was also full of seriousness. The first elder Xiao Yan, the Shao clan goddess of war Xiao Lingshan, and the Love Lang Juxuan Hoju of the Phoenix clan's patriarch, these three played a very important role for them. Yep, the three women nodded at the same time, trying their best to move the reincarnation mark between the eyebrows, and poured in towards the three reincarnation light tombs little by little. The three Zeons have been trapped in reincarnation for countless times. If they want to forcibly awaken them, they must be guided by the reincarnation seal and enter it in person. If successful, these Zeons will wake up again, and the three women will also gain the true power of reincarnation, but if they fail, I am afraid that everyone will be drowned in the long river of history, which can be described as dangerous. Susu. Everyone, why are you so anxious? Just as the three girls approached the tomb of reincarnation, the surrounding void twisted strangely. The three tombs of light and countless mountain peaks trembled, as if they had encountered a terrifying force that shocked them. Boom! The deafening magical sound of heaven and earth swept out from the hall, turning into a turbulent flow of time and space, shaking this mountain range and the peaks of the mountain with a humming sound. The extremely evil magic power turned into a dark passage in the high altitude of the mountain range, and there were countless evil auras in the passage. At the end of these auras, there was a burly figure, slowly walking out of it. When his human-like body completely appeared in front of Xiao Yan and the others, the sticky magic power slanted down from his body like a tide of energy, and many peaks in the mountains were easily crushed, squeezed, and melted later. For all the powder, Saint Powerhouse? Looking at the group of evil black shadows in the dark passage, which were as large as ants, the corners of Xiao Yan's eyes twitched violently when he felt the soul-shaking supreme evil power above the burly figure in front of him. This is the most difficult person from outside the realm that he has encountered since he entered the 8th reincarnation rank. Xiao Yan's reincarnation tomb. It really makes this seat easy to find. The Shuizhi Holy Throne's eyes are deep, with endless murderous intentions inside. He glanced at this world at will, and noticed the abnormality above the three groups of samsara-like tombs. There is some kind of indecipherable connection between the three groups of reincarnation light tombs, and even the faint overflowing fluctuations, Even he felt a chill. But so what? Now that they have fallen into a deep sleep, how can they be their opponents? And retreat. This place has been occupied by me. Or do you want to be my enemy? The Shuizhi Holy Throne Phantom stared at Xiao Yan with emotionless eyes, and immediately opened his mouth full of resentment. A mere 8-layer reincarnation rank, and he has to protect the 3 girls around him? How to fight with himself and the evil soldiers behind him? Btth2. When the sight of the shadow of the Shuizhi Holy Throne locked on Xiao Yan and the others, except for Xiao Yan, a huge pressure suddenly appeared on the delicate bodies of the other 3 girls, which instantly made them tremble slightly, and they would completely kneel at any time. Go down! How can their current strength resist the pressure of the Water Childhood Holy Throne at the pinnacle of the 8th reincarnation rank? You go first. I'll deal with it here. Xiao Yan watched the opponent's terrifying offensive, his teeth clenched, and the holy flame within his body began to rise little by little. There was no trace of fear in his dark pupils, and he directly faced the latter. But, seeing this catastrophe, Mu Yingying couldn't bear it in her heart. If you don't go in, you won't have time. The next moment, Xiao Yan almost roared. A mere Saint Clan powerhouse, although it doubled the pressure on him, but it was not an invincible situation. If the 3 girls chose to help him at this time, once the other 2 Saint Clan powerhouses arrived here, let alone Xiao Yan himself would die. Unknown, even the 3 tombs of reincarnation in front of them are probably in danger. Yingying. Just when Mu Yingying was about to speak again, Zuner spoke sternly and directly stopped the latter. Nowadays, the situation has not changed much. Once you take a wrong step, everyone will be trapped in a state of doom. This is the source of holy flame fire that should be able to help you. No. Xiao Yan wanted to refuse, but seeing Zuner's strong appearance, he swallowed the words hard. Seeing Zuner's serious expression, the other 2 women also instantly understood the powerful relationship and followed suit. Go. I believe in you. Just leave it to me here. It was not until the ancient imprint of reincarnation flashed on the body of the 3 girls again that Xiao Yan leaked a confident smile to the 3 girls. Go! The 3 women looked at each other, and with the power of the reincarnation seal, they turned into a wave of light and poured directly into the reincarnation cemetery. Want to go? I have to ask this seat too, right? The Shuizhi Holy Throne seemed to have expected it long ago. Looking at the hurried figures of the 3 women, when they waved their hands, a pitch-black river of thousands of meters was all over their body. In the river, there are endless scarlet dazzling bloodlights, such a Tianhe. I am afraid that the blood of thousands of human beings has been integrated into it. Once waved, the evil power generated may completely shock this world. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click on the favorite below to record this time. Chapter 2744 Shuizhi, one of the 3 saints. The reading record, you can see it next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Fighting the Heavens God, Yandy, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 2729. Find the latest chapter in Fighting the Sky God, Yan Emperor novel. The Shuizhi Holy Throne thinks too highly of itself. Xiao Yan chuckled lightly, and the many sources of holy flames on his hands that were obtained from the 3 women jumped at will, turning into beams of flames of light, killing them directly. Now in Xiao Yan's hands, the number of holy flames has almost reached 17, and with the latter's Fenju and the 8th layer Samsara strength, the combat power has reached a heart-pounding level. 9 down, almost invincible. Boom! Countless dark and evil water columns slanted out of the Tianhe River, and blasted away at the 3 tombs of reincarnation, with an imposing momentum. Btth2. Even if Xiao Yan urged the source of the holy flame to strike with all his strength, trying to intercept the latter's attack, when the holy flame came into contact with the evil water column, it penetrated strangely and could not be intercepted. Not good. Seeing such a strange scene, Xiao Yan's heart was horrified, the speed skyrocketed, and the brilliance of the holy flames around him became more and more dazzling. Once the 3 tombs of reincarnation are destroyed by the holy throne of Shuizhi, the 3 women and the 3 reincarnations will face a very dangerous situation. Quote. The evil water column that concealed the sky and the sun ignored Xiao Yan's attack and headed towards the tomb of reincarnation light, but when it was about to attack the latter, there was a strange surging around the tomb of reincarnation, the void trembled, and the latter attacked drown out of thin air. The three-tomb symbiosis method naturally did not hinder Xiao Yan and the others who were carrying Samsara and Saint Flame, but they were very hostile to evil forces. That kind of mysterious defensive power was not something that any cat or dog could destroy. Holy Seat, the Xiao Yan in front of him is the leader of the Endless Flame Alliance. Now, with the strength of our Shuizhi Saint clan, it may be difficult to capture him. In order to be safe, let's call the other two adults as soon as possible. Xiao Yan's repeated killings of powerful people from outside the territory have already made the top leaders outside the territory quite dissatisfied. Don't miss the opportunity for the sake of making meritorious deeds. Looking at such a bizarre scene, in the dark passage behind the Tianhe, there is a sound of evil. If there are so many sources of holy flames, if they are fully integrated and displayed by Xiao Yan, even the Shuizhi Holy Throne will be difficult to deal with. It's nonsense, and the eightfold reincarnation hierarchy can still obliterate this seat? Thousands of demons obey the order and seal the space. When this seat captures them, the leader of the outside world will definitely reward our clan. At that time, the two guys at the head of the Holy Clan will naturally look at their own clan with admiration. ! Quote. In the face of the latter evil shadow's persuasion, the Shuizhi Holy Throne disapproved, and looked at Xiao Yan with a grim expression, with an exceptionally powerful aura. Void, mountains, mountain peaks, pieces of dark and outrageous evil aura, gushing out continuously, completely shrouded the whole world. In this dark night, Xiao Yan's body and the three reincarnation tombs were extremely dazzling. Just to my liking. Seeing that the other party was so arrogant, Xiao Yan also slightly relieved. The Holy Throne of Shuizhi has this idea, and Xiao Yan himself also has this idea. Since breaking through to the 8th reincarnation rank, he has not fought well, and now this Water Childhood Holy Throne will undoubtedly become his best trial stone at present. The night fell, the space was sealed, and the holy flame in Xiao Yan's body was like a provocative holy beast, gradually becoming violent, and the holy breath gradually became stalemate against it. It's raining? Xiao Yan looked up, but found that in this strange void, there were suddenly countless strange black spots, and the black spots contained a puzzling destructive power. Xiao Yan stared intently at the black dots in the dark night, and found that they were actually slowly connecting into a jet black ray, crowding out neatly and orderly in this world. Seeing such a strange movement in front of him, Xiao Yan suddenly realized something. The black dots, rays, keep getting bigger and bigger, and after just an instant, a huge net of black rays and black dots appeared in the whole world. Xiao Yan, this is the death gift this seat specially prepared for you. Seeing Xiao Yan's body stagnant in the void, the gloomy smile of the Shuizhi Holy Throne spread to every corner of this world. Is it a fighting skill after the fusion of water attributes and evil forces between demigods and quasi-divine arts? Looking at the sky-shaking water curtain and water net formed by more and more evil black spots and death rays around him, the 8 sources of holy flames in Xiao Yan's hands became quite frantic, and waves of heat waved from them. It poured out and slapped Xiao Yan's body continuously. If that's the case, then try the fusion of the 17 holy flames. After hesitating for a moment, feeling the hatred of many holy flames for evil forces, Xiao Yan couldn't help but have a really crazy idea in his heart. The 17 holy flames occupy almost half of the holy flame list, and the combined fighting skills are powerful enough to compete with the Shuizhi Holy Throne. I just don't know if such a fusion can reach the level of quasi-god fighting skills. Category? After that, the 8-color holy flames above Xiao Yan's hands began to surge, rising like a scorching sun, and the 9-color holy flames in his body were also called and climbed out together. 17 brilliant flame halos surrounded Xiao Yan's body slightly, making this guy look like an ancient emperor who was deeply embraced by flames. This is the fusion of holy flames? Holy Seat, you have to think twice. Seeing Xiao Yan's crazy fusion move, many of the confidants of the Shuizhi saints in the passageway looked gloomy, and even some fears spread out. In the endless fire territory, Xiao Yan, the fusion of holy flames has long been one of his trump cards. Now the number of such fusion holy flames has reached an unprecedented 17. Hurry up, what's your style? This seat definitely doesn't believe that he can integrate such a variety of holy flames. Water curtain, Rotten Heaven Realm. In an instant, the Shuizhi Holy Throne did not hesitate, stepping heavily on the evil Tianhe, and a voice resounding through the heavens and the earth swept out. Obviously at this time, there is a trace of unease in his heart. But he underestimated Xiaoyan's ability. Now he is getting the Flame God Cauldron, not to mention the fusion of the 17 holy flames. Even if it is the fusion of all holy Yan, for Xiaoyan, is also an easy matter. Above the evil Tianhe in the sky, a huge gap suddenly opened, and countless evil forces seemed to have found a sloping opening in an instant, and shot towards Xiaoyan below. The endless evil forces formed an evil waterfall that shook the sky. Countless black spots and rays formed a giant net of death in the sky. 3 completely different forces completely surrounded Xiaoyan, and could launch a fatal blow against the latter at any time. Give me fusion. Even at this time of crisis, Xiaoyan's lips suddenly showed a proud and fearless smile. With the operation of the burning art in his body, the 17 holy flames began to merge under the sight of countless powerhouses. As for the devastating attack of the Shuizhi Holy Seat, Xiaoyan didn't seem to plan to defend, but had other plans instead. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click the favorite below to record this time. Chapter 2745 Water Curtain, Rotten Heaven Realm. The reading record, you can see it next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Fighting the Heavens God, Yandy, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis.